One Piece games fucking suck. There, I said it. Off rip, on camera, I said it. One Piece games blow. But I've done a lot of thinking as of recently. And the reason I think this is the case is because none of the One Piece games really feel like One Piece games, if that makes sense. As I was scrolling through YouTube, I remembered that there's a video by Globku talking about the perfect Naruto game, which I know is a totally different series, I understand that, but I think that I can do the same thing that Globku did. Now, the difference between me and Globku is he had 10 years to plan that game out, and that video is older now. Anyway, I'm going to break this first video into 3 different sections to really talk about what is kind of on my mind. And then depending on how this video does, I'll talk more about what I would do for like multiplayer, class specialization, or whatever. But yeah, let's just get into it. As I stated like a year ago in my video about why I hate anime games, it feels like it's all the same stuff. Here in America, we get a lot of the very same old like arena fighters or like bandit beaters, things like that. And I'm just kind of tired of it. And so with that being the case, I really want to delve into the RPG section of things. And by doing that, I believe that One Piece would really benefit from doing something like this. You might be asking why? The answer is because I feel like it. I'm tired of bandit beaters. That's the simple answer to that. And I think we can look towards World of Warcraft as to how we can set up the basic abilities and how they line up in a hotbar. For inspiration, I decided to look at some of the Roblox games that are on Roblox. Some of the One Piece games that are on Roblox. And what I learned through that experience is they're all shit. Yeah, they suck. Shortstop, they blow. But GPO had some stuff that I actually really, really liked. And that main thing was character customization. There's a lot of stuff that you could do to make your character stand out against another person's character. Now, games like Blox Fruits and King's Legacy don't really have that character customization, and I feel like it really takes you out of the immersion. Like I said, I really like character customization. I believe it's one of the basic building blocks to an RPG game, and if you're going to turn it into an MMORPG, then it needs to definitely be, there needs to be character customization. Now, you might be asking, what will the character customization have in it? Well, what does character customization typically have, you fucking nincompoop? I'd say Skyrim and Baldur's Gate 3's character customization is what comes to my mind when we think about, like, high, density changing of the character, blah, blah, blah. Wacky character designs, I think, are extremely important in the world of One Piece. And I don't think that race rolling is what is needed. I think you should be able to choose, and each one should give you a benefit. If you're a fishman, you should get fishman karate. If you're a giant, you get more, strength or whatever. That type of thing. And I just think that that's really, really important. But character customization allows you to pull crazy shit off, right? If I want to create a pirate with 2 eye patches who uses a flintlock, I should be able to do it. And character customization should feel free. This is why I think there should be a skill tree, like different skill trees, that represent different skills. You could have a tree for navigation, a tree for swordsmanship, a tree for devil fruit mastery when you eat a devil fruit, a tree for, sniping or like gun usage. There's just so many skills that you could break down in the game that would have endless character possibilities. Now, the core gameplay loop would definitely be sailing island to island as they do in One Piece. But what you choose to do as a pirate is up to you, right? If you want to liberate an island from a tyrannical ruler, go ahead, blow that bitch to smithereens, right? Do you want to steal all of the people's personal treasures? You can do that. Do you want to fight other pirates on the island? You can do that too. The main thing that One Piece has going for it is adventure. And I think that each character's adventure needs to be part of the gameplay loop. Now, the story is what is important for the character, right? Each character is different, so each story is different. Now, I'm not saying that you need to implement a story mode. What I'm saying is that in the multiplayer setting, each player plays differently, and how they choose to play needs to accommodate to that. Once you adventure as a pirate, I think that's one of the most important bits. The skill trees allow for each pirate to be different and have a crew be successful, right? Like, you don't have like 3 captains on one crew. It just doesn't work. You need somebody that is a cook, somebody that is a second in command. You need somebody that is an archaeologist, right? If you want to find the One Piece, you have to have a successful crew. However, before we continue, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. So if you wouldn't mind, just punch the shit out of it. Or otherwise, I'll be in your drains. I'm coming for you. Anyways, yeah, go ahead. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right. If you didn't hit those buttons, I'm popping up in your drains tonight.
I like you, and I want you.
Anyways, for those of you who did, thank you, and make sure that you come back for the next video. Anyways, we're gonna continue on. For the combat of the game, I think it needs to start out very simple. One thing I do want to make sure that I get through real quick is we need the different styles that we see in One Piece. Black leg swords, like sword styles, and yada yada yada. When starting the game, you start with basic punches and kicks, which I know every basic Roblox Bandit beater does this shit, but I think that this is really, really important. So you have light attacks, you have heavy attacks, you have a dodge, you have a jump. You get it, right? Ultimately, I think combat can really help people shine, right? And I think it'd be really cool with the different fighting styles that are in One Piece and that you could add to a One Piece game. Black leg, different sword styles, devil fruits, guns, etc. The list can go on and on, but I think there should be a parry system, right? When an attack is about to strike, just parry that motherfucker, right? Now, not all attacks are parryable, despite what some may think. For some reason, a lot of people think that you can parry a nuke, which you definitely can't do that, right? But most of the attacks in this game can be, so it's not just a constant state of block breaking. Big moves need to be dodged. Simple, tons of games that I play already do something like this, and so I think Ghost of Tsushima is a really good example of how I think that a simple parry system could work. When a white button, like a little white dot shows up, that's a parryable move, and you can parry it. When a big black fucking dot, when a big red dot shows up, you need to get out of the way, otherwise you're getting fucking sent to the Shadow Realm, right? You're getting sent to hell. Now, combat can get a little more interesting when you bring in different sword techniques and what have you, but like I said before, you need to create a list of all the moves, and the way that I think about it is that they should go off of a stamina bar, right? So that's something you can upgrade as you kind of go on. Let's say stamina usage, and you can only select like 5 abilities. This means you need to pick from skills to be able to use them, and each skill will have different cooldowns, and I think that cooldown management will also be a part of the game, because you don't want to come out swinging with, 1,000 worlds, right, if you're using 3 sword style. And it means each loadout will still be different from someone else that has the same fighting style as you do. But the issue that I could see with this is like the meta, but it's kind of silly. And yeah, that's not something that I have to worry about. I'm not the game developer. Now, one of the most massive things, right, inside of One Piece is the travel across the ocean. One way to make that interesting and not boring and bland is to add events that happen, right? So you get like attacked by Sea Kings, you get attacked by Marines, you can get attacked by other pirates, right? Like all of that's, I think, very, very important, and it makes the oceans feel alive. So I'd pull some ideas from Sea of Thieves, because One Piece actually has sea beasts that you could fight, and that's pretty cool. I believe that fast travel is cringe and silly. That is definitely something I feel very strongly about in a game about seafaring, right? I think if you want to travel the high seas, you have to do it. You have to sail to these islands yourself. And in doing so, something can either go really, really bad or really, really good. I mean, you wouldn't just fight sea beasts, of course. Like I said, you could run into a shipwreck. You can gather treasure from the ship. Granted, you're not a devil fruit user, of course, because you have to jump in the water. Or maybe even find seafaring supplies just in the water, right? We see this done in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, where you're sailing and you run into a bunch of barrels and you can pick up those barrels and yada, yada, yada. You also see it in Sea of Thieves some, too. I think this would make the game more interesting. as you sail on the high seas. I do want to talk about a piece of information that I've been neglecting to give about my thoughts on this game, and that's the different modes, right? I think that the game should be an all online game, right? But I think there should be, like how GTA 5 has their invite-only session or a solo session type of thing. I think you should be able to do that. Now, the caveat to that is solo sessions, when grinding, take a lot more time. Less XP, less, berries, less good treasure. Things like that, I think, really would propel a solo mode. But it means that you could get your sea legs under you, if you will. Being in multiplayer mode gives players way more items and berries, of course. And then in the single player mode, the big thing is devil fruits, right? You won't come across those just spawning on the ground. You have to fight against Navy ships, and it's like a 0.001% chance that you actually get a devil fruit. I think another huge feature would be the crew system, right? But that's talking, again, about modes and the gameplay of modes. It means your survivability goes way up, and to be honest, at this current moment, I haven't thought way too much into it. So if this video does well, I will devise a plan for the crew system in this like mock game, right? But yeah, if you guys have ideas, make sure you put them down in the comments below. Once again, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and like button. And I'm gonna post more, which is huge. That's big, right? Fantastic. So, anyways, thanks for watching. And again, tell me the ideas you have down in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. Anyways, thanks. Peace out.